Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Star Wars Land Report from Galaxy's Edge atop the Mickey and Friends parking structure. We're going to start, as always, in the backside of Battle Escape Building. And as usual, it looks about the same, but there are a couple things to note as we zoom in here and pan to the right a little bit. And then we'll stop right here. First thing, they put in some stairs, so that's cool. They put in some stairs on the backside of that Q building there, which, you know, starting to flesh out a little bit. I feel like this is going to be some sort of... we're guessing that building where the stairs are now is pre-show. Not just Q, but pre-show. And possibly something stretching room-like type, where there's going to be, you know, you're going to get immersed into the event before heading into the hangar there, the proper Battle Escape attraction hangar. So there's that. Secondly, some folks have commented they see these white containers down there. Those are compressed natural gas containers. So the thought was, what kind of vehicle could they be for? Not any kind of vehicle, as far as I know. Battle Escape is trackless and therefore electronic, so they won't be using any kind of gas. So what else could they be using compressed natural gas for in that kind of quantity? I don't know. It's maybe there's gonna be some pyro. That'd be kind of neat, but I doubt it. I don't know. Let's speculate, Fresh Bake. What are 3 containers or possibly more of compressed natural gas for? Not much going on with those footings that we see there in the middle left of the frame. So I guess let's skip over to the tunnel. This is the queue leading into that pre-show building, and obviously the thing to note here is that it looks like they're almost done. All the concrete is there, so the tunnel is probably built. The exterior of the tunnel is built, and they're see that the dirt is being raised. There was a big pile of dirt behind it that we saw from the overhead shot from the satellite imagery. You can see there's a big sort of a mini Mount Spielberg back there, and my guess is they're getting ready to put in the new berm or the or you know, whatever the mountainscape is that's going to go on top of that cave, that tunnel for guests. We'll switch over to the top side of Battle Escape just to do a cursory pan. I don't expect to see much here, but for the you know, keen eye, you might be able to notice something. For example, that tarp. For whatever reason, they put a tarp around the edge of the building. And it looks like they finished off, or they're finishing off, the 3 warts back there, the 3 outbuildings that are being constructed. So that's cool. All right, next thing we're going to do is take a look at the peaks, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Not a lot of change here, but we will get into what's going on to the next or behind Huey, Dewey, and Louie here in a minute. But I want to take a moment to just sort of focus in on these peaks. These are the Millennium Falcon peaks, and you can see that, I mean, it's just advanced rock work. It's getting further and further along. And there's no color yet, but definitely more definition. Lots and lots of definition being put in there. And then eventually we'll see that, get that same sort of orange, you know, coloring to it. And now we're gonna take a look at the new structure that's being put in around the backside of the 3 peaks. And last week, let's pause right here. Last week, I had said, you know, this doesn't look like it's going to be mountain work or rock work of some kind because of the way that the structure was being designed or built so far. But obviously that was premature, because clearly we are seeing some of those imperfect angles and odd protrusions and random sort of things being set up. So that is very likely going to be more rock work, more mountain around the back side. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at some of the video that we got from D23. This is the Millennium Falcon side of the model at D23, and there you can see the Millennium Falcon right there. There's the curved entrance. So on top of that, all that mountain that you see back there is show building. They're going to cover not just, we're not just going to see peaks here. They're going to cover the entire top of that building with mountain. So it's not just, there's a lot of rock work to go here, at least according to this model. There's a lot of rock work, a lot of mountains to be installed here behind Huey, Dewey, and Louie. So we're just getting started on that. Back on the backside of Millennium Falcon, let's pause right about here to see how this looks compared to a few weeks ago. And that's how it looked back on the 16th of December. So you can see they've covered that one area up with a tarp of some kind. They're building a tent. Fresh baked, they're building a tent. But otherwise, not a lot of change there. You can see also that one structure hasn't even been begun yet. But let's move on. Yeah, so you can see that that's the tent. I have no idea if that's temporary. I'm sure, but fun to look at. All right, back on the. I think we're going to zoom in here now on that rear structure to see what's happening there. As I mentioned, we can tell that it's getting some definition as a mountain. And here's our pan across the width of both the Millennium Falcon and Battle Escape. Now let's pause here, I think, because I want to take a minute to see what we can see, if anything, on the progress of the peaks from this angle on Battle Escape. And we'll zoom in a little bit to get a closer look. You can see there's some mesh work going on. There's some definition happening on the peak on the right. Harder to tell what's happening on the peak on the left. If we go back to 3 weeks ago, even it's a little bit closer, but we'll still zoom in a little bit and see that there was no mesh work there before. So progress happening on the Battle Escape peaks. And let's finish our pan. And this week I want to take another look at the Darth Vader's window, just to see. You can see there's little progress being made on the two openings there with the stairs. Those are probably, either emergency or admin access. Then we'll try to squeeze a look in here, but you can't see anything going on much. Now, before we continue on Star Wars Land, I wanted to stop here. This is in the Mickey and Friends parking structure. This is the Chippendale lot, I think they call it. I'm stopping here because this lot is closed. The entire bottom floor of the parking structure has been closed, and this, I'm assuming, is in preparation for the remodeling, the addition of the new parking structure. Because I think it's going to join. It's going to join with the current one. So in order to do that, you have to do that at ground level, I would assume. So we're gonna see some progress here every week now. With things happening with the Mickey Friends parking structure. I assume, by the way, because of the construction of the new parking structure, because you can also see throughout these little survey markings. Let's pause here. These survey markings are everywhere in the parking area, or I should say in the concourse where guests walk around. You can tell they're going to be rerouting. It looks like, I'm assuming, they're going to be rerouting the trams. But as we pull out on top of the Mickey Friends parking structure, those little markings are everywhere. They're up that entire path, and then they're also across the way there, and you can't see them, of course. And then they're also all up and down where the guests board the tram there. Okay, back inside the park, where the Big Thunder Trail. This is open up again. Last week it was closed, but it's open again. But not too much to see. You know what we will do, though? Let's take a look. Let me see if I can find a spot here where we can compare it. If I can just... There we go, right about there. Let's stop here. We'll go back 4 weeks so you can see that it looks pretty much exactly the same. Really, there's nothing happening in this area right now, it looks like. So, not a lot to report. Very little to see and very little to report from Big Thunder Trail. All right, we're on the Mark Twain again, but once again, the top deck was closed, so I had very limited views. So we'll just get our, this is basically, this is the single best shot we were able to get, I think, of the Battle Escape building, and there's not a lot going on here. That's that same peak we just looked at where they've added mesh work, finally, to the biggest peak of all for Battle Escape. Now that's improvement. That you can see a lot of rock definition there on that section on the front side of Battle Escape. trying to get a view of the Millennium Falcon peaks, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, but not much to see through those trees and through that crane. So I think what I'm going to wind up doing is sliding left, as I often do, for a look at the far right side. This is going to be the far right side of Battle Escape. There it is. And definite progress going on there. It's still gray rock work, so we're just getting the actual, the first layer of mesh is done, and we're getting just a little bit of the definition. I wonder, just trying to imagine what these mountains will look like as a backdrop to the rivers of America. Look at that. Wow. Wow, indeed. Fresh baked. Wow, indeed. And that's it. We'll pull out here. Again, my view wasn't so great from Mark Twain this week, so, but that's Duke. Entertaining a crew of canoers. And thanks for watching, guys. Fresh bacon stuff. We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out some of our other videos and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. We truly are the best of Disney Bake Fresh Daily. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time. Fresh baked!